Hello my loves and welcome back. This yoga practice is going to be a short practice focusing on a moon salutation, and we're going to do a variation of the moon salutation. Many of us in yoga are familiar with sun salutations, but there's also moon and earth salutations. So come into standing and face the long edge of your mat. You might want to have a couple of blocks nearby. If so, place them towards the long edge corners of your mat. Have the feet around hip distance apart. Come into tadasana here, let the arms rest down by the sides. Feel the crown of the head lengthening up as the feet root down into the floor. And just take a couple of breaths here. Noticing your feet, the relationship of your feet to the floor. Is one foot heavier than the other, more connected? Do you have more weight in the heel or the ball of your foot? Is there more weight to the inside or the outside edges of your feet? Do you notice any difference here from the right to the left? So from here, inhale, rise up. Interlace the fingers, reach the palms up towards the ceiling. And just take a little side bend over to the right side. Rise back up into center and then over to the left. A little lateral flexion here. Come back into center. Let the arms lengthen out wide here from right to left and step the feet nice and wide into your 5-pointed star. Arms and legs make 4 points and the crown of the head rising up makes your 5th point of your star here. Point your toes out towards the corners of your mat. Take an inhale and rise. As you exhale, bend the knees and sit into your goddess pose here. Knees opening wide towards those toes. Maybe the arms find a little goddess or cactus arms. Maybe they open wide. Maybe they reach forward. Do what's right for your shoulders. Take an inhale, rise all the way up. Again, let the arms open nice and wide and turn your right toes towards the left toes. Let your pelvis face more this long edge of your mat, but your feet are facing the left short edge of your mat. From your left hip crease, hinge forward. Maybe the left hand rests on the shin. Maybe it rests on a block. Maybe it rests and touches towards the floor. Rise back up, and as you rise back up, float the right arm down and through. Lift your right heel and plant your right heel towards that back edge of your mat. Feet pointing to the left edge, and from your left hip, hinge forward over your left leg into pyramid pose here, Parsvottanasana. Again, you have the option for blocks. Bend the knees, drop your right knee to the floor. Keeping the left knee bent, knee over the ankle here. Let the torso rise, maybe the arms rise, taking a lunge here, little back bend. Opening through that heart center. And as you exhale, hinge forward. Now for a tricky transition here, tuck the right toe, lift the right knee, pivot the feet to point towards the long edge of your mat. Sit your hips down and come into a little side lunge here, a little skandasana. Now, if this feels uncomfortable, you have options to take a block and place it underneath your bum and sit onto your block. This might be where you pause for a couple of breaths, and that is completely fine. If the heel's lifted away from the floor, you can either plug the space between the heel or just do a little toe stand skandasana, that's fine. Take another breath. Push into the hands and then transfer the weight over to the opposite short edge of your mat. Again, maybe you're supporting the pelvis, whatever you feel you need. Transition again here, hands to the floor. Push into the floor, pivot the feet towards the opposite short edge here. And then rise up into your lunge. Hinge forward, connect the hands, either blocks or floor or shin. Tuck the back toe, lengthen the legs. Send the back heel back towards the floor. It does not have to touch. Root through the feet, rise up. Turn the torso towards that long edge. Maybe you pivot the back foot a little bit here. Arms lengthen and you tip into triangle here. Rise back up. 5-pointed star. Adjust the feet to point out. Take an inhale and then sit into your goddess pose. Inhale and rise. Bring the feet together and in. As you inhale, lengthen up. Reach up. Interlace the fingers. Rise. Come over to the right. Come back up and over to the left. And rise back up. Release the arms. Standing again here, grounded to the floor in tadasana. So we've done one circle around our moon here. Let's go the other way. So as we find ourselves again rooted into the floor, take an inhale and rise. Interlace the fingers, rise up, reach up. Tilt over to the left. Squeeze the left shoulder towards the left hip, lengthening the arms here. Rise back into center. Come over to the right. And then back into center. Send the arms wide, send the feet wide here. 5-pointed star. Toes might turn out to those corners as you inhale. Exhale, sit into goddess. Inhale, rise up. Take the arms out here. Pivot the feet towards the right edge of your mat. Torso still faces the long edge, and from the right hip, tip over, taking Trikonasana here. Again, you have the option to use blocks for support. Do what's right for your body. Rise back up. Pivot the feet, the shoulders, and the torso towards that right edge. Let the left arm float down and through, and from the right hip, tip forward, come over your right leg into Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose here. Bend the knees, drop the left knee to the floor behind you. Right knee over the ankle and rise up. Maybe the arms reach up and you find your lunge here. As you hinge forward, again thinking about the transition here, use the hands into the floor to lift the back knee, pivot the feet towards the long edge, lift the left toes and come into your side lunge. Again, this might be a side lunge that's a little bit higher. You're welcome to stay there. If you can sit all the way low in Skandasana, you're more than welcome to explore that, or support the pelvis. Do what your body needs. And then as low as you can, support on the floor and switch to the other side. Taking that side lunge here. Using the arms once more for support, push into the floor, pivot the feet, pivot the torso towards the opposite short edge, rise up into your lunge here. Hinge forward. As you hinge forward, connect the hands to something, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, lengthen the legs, draw the back heel towards the floor. It does not have to touch. Pyramid pose here. Root through the feet, rise up, turn the pelvis, the torso, the feet a little bit towards that long edge. Arms lengthen and tip into triangle pose here. Rise all the way back up. Take your 5-pointed star, adjust the feet towards the corners as you inhale, rise, exhale, sit into goddess. Rise all the way back up. Help the feet all the way back in. Inhale, rise, root down, reach up, interlacing the fingers. Come over to the left, blown palm. Come all the way up and then over to the right. Blown palm. And then rise all the way back up. Let the arms come back down to the sides. Resting once more in Tadasana. Feet hip distance apart. Maybe close the eyes. Take a breath. Noticing again the connection of your feet to the floor. Is anything about that connection different? Take an inhale, rise out and up. Bring the hands to the heart. Inhaling in through the nose. Out through the mouth. One more, big inhale. And a loud exhale. Resting here, body, mind, heart and breath. Balanced as one. Namaste.